So the FIFA World Cup in Qatar is about 2 days away now, so let's talk about the good and the bad and my personal opinion. The good thing about the FIFA World Cup in Qatar is that we're going to see the last of these legendary iconic players like Leo Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, Luka Modric, Robert Lewandowski, Neymar, and so many other players performing at their last World Cup. Qatar is making history for the first time by hosting the first ever Winter World Cup. Another good thing about the World Cup being in Qatar is that you get to visit so many new places and experience the culture of Qatar. There's also places like the Doha Tower and the Qatar National Convention Center. Now let's look at the bad things, starting off with Qatar's human rights record. This includes 3 workers losing their lives during preparations for the 2022 World Cup, no human rights clauses or conditions for labour workers or workers' rights, over 6,500 migrant workers who lost their lives when Qatar were awarded the World Cup in 2010 to 2021, and 200 Nepali workers losing their lives as well. Multiple players being injured like N'Golo Kante, Presnel Kimpembe, Diogo Jota and Christopher Nkunku, amongst many other players. And the most glaring thing of all, Qatar's draconian laws towards LGBTQ rights. Now for my opinion on the Qatar World Cup. Now if I'm being honest, this is FIFA's fault. At the time when FIFA were awarding Qatar the World Cup, there was a bunch of corruption scandals against them. There's a whole documentary out on Netflix. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm gonna see it tonight. What people have been telling me is that it gives you a proper insight as to what happened that night with FIFA and everything else. What I will say is that personally, this is the worst World Cup on record ever. People will talk about morality rights, people will talk about England, USA, countries in Africa, countries in the Middle East, countries like Brazil, Argentina, and I get that. Listen, no country is perfect, but Qatar have done some very questionable things. For example, the whole migrant worker situation, like I've seen people like sadly lose their lives in many countries, but it's probably only like 2 or 3, not like thousands and thousands and thousands. This is very unprecedented and it's not good. I mean, Qatar trying to pay fans to be fans of other countries is just bizarre. Time 2 Qataris stopped a Danish reporter filming when they already had a filming permit. At the end of this, FIFA have a lot of questions to ask for, and hopefully they've learnt their lesson from this, and hopefully the matches in Qatar bring a bit of light over the dark. One of the bright sparks is that it's going to be Messi and Ronaldo's last World Cup, and we get to see the likes of Vinicius Jr., Jude Bellingham, Jamal Musiala, Valverde, Pedri, Gavi. Having that blend of iconic legends and future superstars is hopefully what will make the World Cup special. I don't know, only time will tell. Let's see what happens.